watching the Vomitorium. Did you know that bees make up every percent of my favorite star system? Bees also know that they can go support the show at www.streamlabs.com/Vomitorium Live. Buzz buzz!
It's Burbank. It's Burbank. It's Burbank.
God, I know you hate my love with all of these emotions. I don't really fuck with you to kill my serotonin. I can't really deal with this, drinking on a potion. When it's all said and done, just going through the motion. You're trying to get to know me, then you're gonna ghost me. Next thing I know, yeah, you fucking on my homie. I don't really give a fuck, cause I'm not the old me. Doesn't mean shit, cause I don't even know me. 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 We exposed. Got you acting so strange. Don't speak. It's all in my head. Hey, chemicals in my brain controlling my emotions. Used to be so depressed, my life is a commotion. Flowing on this beat, riding waves in the ocean. A bitch in my backseat, wetter than the ocean. You trying to get to know me, then you gonna ghost me. Next thing I know, yeah, you fucking on my homie. I don't really give a fuck, cause I'm not the old me. Doesn't mean shit, cause I don't even know me. 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 I could go an hour on this flow, it's an omen, but I'm still sad. Every now and then it's no fun. I've been down bad, but I know that I'm still chosen. Falling to my knees, praying that I fucking make it. On the real deal, bitch, I don't gotta fucking fake it. I'ma get up out this town, yeah, I know I fucking hate it. Sexy girl, rubbing aloe on my back, yeah, that sounds like the life. But you know I fucking got that, ayy. Cause my serotonin flowing, ayy. Then I remember that you're not mine, and I realize that I'm dead inside. Then you're trying to get to know me, then you gonna ghost me. Next thing I know, yeah, you fucking on my homie. I don't really give a fuck, cause I'm not the old me. Doesn't mean shit, cause I don't even know me. 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 I don't even know me.
Hey, welcome to the Vomitorium Live, everybody. I am your host, The Metal, as always, here to talk about games, shows, movies, comics, whatever I feel like talking about tonight. So grab that link up on top below in a share button. I have no idea where it is for you, but grab it, send it out to somebody else, get them in here, and we'll have a good time. Always appreciate if you participate in the chat, but you don't have to. I appreciate lurkers too. Heck, most of the time when I'm watching things, I prefer to lurk. So, you know, I can relate. Anyway, oh, hey, Kevnet. Lost my 50-50 on Dahlia. Got E6 Bronya now, though. Well, you know, you don't really need anything on Bronya other than past E4. So my condolences, but I guess everyone past that, don't you get the little bonus thing that the currency you can use in the shop to get like a free Ron May or something? So there's that to look forward to, right? I played through the entire story in one sitting. There wasn't much. I probably won't be talking about it much either on here, but I did play through it. I was a little disappointed. It was like watching an anime. Talking about Star Rail, by the way, for anybody else listening. It was like watching an anime where it's kind of like a filler in between arcs, which is what this patch is. But you ever watch one where it's a lot of flashbacks from things that you've already seen before? Oh, hey, Buck's here. Let me...
Hello.
Hey, Buck, how you doing?
Doing alright, especially since I remembered how to speak on stage this time.
That's great. Oh, that's not where we're supposed to be. Let me fix this. Oh my god, now I'm just grabbing everything I don't want to grab.
Yeah, sorry, I would have hopped on before you went live, but unfortunately, making 100% sure I had everything set up took a little bit longer than I expected.
Well, you know, like I said before, you're not obligated to be here. I can burn through an hour by myself, no problem. But if you're bored, especially having mod privileges, you're allowed to come on anytime you want. There we go. Now we look more comfortable. Anyway, before I was getting into any topic I was planning to talk about today, I was complaining about how I did like the new Star Rail patch, but it did really feel like one of those filler sections of like a show you're watching where much of the episodes that you're watching are actually just clips from previous episodes. I'm trying to like fill in time more because there were literal scenes from previous patch. This was the whole story basically took not the planet we just finished, but the one before that. I know you don't know much about Star Rail, but a lot of the story is broken up like Kingdom Hearts planets are, right? So it was the one before that. Like if you had just finished, I don't know, Agrabah, and it sent you back to Alice in Wonderland, right? And it was showing us stuff that we didn't know had happened that was happening while we were doing it, and apparently our memories were changed. But because of that, they took literal clips, entire scenes from those previous patches and replayed them like, I've seen this scene before. Why are you making me... You're not changing the camera angle, you're not changing the dialogue or anything. Why are you making me rewatch this exact same scene that I've already seen? I was kind of burnt on that, just a little bit.
Yeah, that sounds irritating. It's annoying enough when a show does it, but when interactive media does it, it's that much more annoying.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, like, I did enjoy it. I like where the story's going. I like where they're taking it. The very end, the very, very end of it was worth having to sit through all that other stuff, more or less. I think the implications and where the story's going is better than the entire last story that we had, but I had to give the patch like a 5 out of 10 because of that. You know, it felt like a really lazy patch. But that's all I'm going to talk about it, because I will probably be playing through the bulk of it on the stream account tomorrow. You know, or this is still tomorrow for me. For some people, it might already be today, but and it was somewhere around maybe 1 or 2 o'clock Mountain Time. So usually schedule Central here, so 2 or 3 o'clock Central Time. That will be the goal. And then I'll stop somewhere and continue it again later. But that's not actually what I came on here to talk about today. That's not what I came here to talk about today at all. I came to talk about the war. No, I'm actually kidding. This is not Alice's restaurant. I came to actually talk about video game hardware sales because they're not looking good. And as a gamer, you could probably guess that they're not looking good.
Gee, I wonder why. Looks at entire Xbox and Microsoft sections being removed from stores due to increased prices.
Oh, yeah. And they're not the only ones. They're just like the most obvious, the biggest offender at the moment. But PlayStation might be following them.
Yeah, Sony does have a bad habit of just doing whatever stupid shit Microsoft is doing at the time.
Oh, yeah. So, this November, which usually you would expect to be one of the biggest time for sales, right? Because Black Friday happens at the end of November. This November was the worst November for console or just video game hardware sales since 1995. That's 30 years to the date.
Sad part is, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I mean, you got to think, too. I know one of the big things, if we're looking at since 2019, which is about the time that the Switch launched, right? The average price of video game hardware, like a console, has gone up by $200. And a lot of that is just because the Switch 2 costs more than the Switch 1. But everything else is going up, too. We look at how much Steam is going to be charging for the Steam machine because it is functionally a computer. But the fact that Microsoft is kind of pulling away from consoles, and if they're going to continue doing anything with hardware, it's basically just going to be selling you a media machine, like a home computer, built for gaming that you're going to plug into your TV. No different than, say, the Steam machine. And PlayStation isn't too far away from doing that, too. I think theirs is probably going to resemble a console more, but they just keep upping the demand on everything so much, and their price keeps going up with each new console that comes out, too, that they're on the trail there, that we're probably looking, next generation of consoles are probably going to cost $1,000, aside from Nintendo.
And then they're gonna wonder why the hell suddenly they have dropped prices and how PC sales started going up.
Yeah, because if you're going to spend that much for something that's basically a gaming PC anyway, you might as well just buy a gaming PC and just plug it into your TV.
There are two reasons people buy consoles: convenience and lower price. If it is no longer convenient and it no longer is a lower price, they're just gonna buy a damn PC.
Well, yeah, and I think Steam had already been putting like a big hole in the convenience part for a long time. Because even early Steam, sometimes you'd still have problems installing a game. But for well over a decade now, it's been pretty easy just to install Steam onto your computer, hit install for whatever game you purchased, and it just runs. Sometimes you still run into an issue, but it runs about as well as almost any console does now.
Not to mention that the old days of consoles having, again, a convenience thing of just being able to put the damn game in and play it right then and there.
Oh, yeah.
No. Nowadays, the disc is essentially just a license, and you have to download the damn game anyway.
Yes, would you like to have a day one DLC plus a balance patch, plus I need you to log into our company's independent account to be able to play this game that's not online or live service at all. It's just a port of an old game like Diablo, and we're going to need your credit card information.
Yeah, it's just they've been slowly wearing down the convenience, and now price is no longer a benefit either.
Yeah, I think that's why Nintendo's still doing mostly fine, though. More or less, you still have some of those other issues I just mentioned with third-party games because that's up to them to do it. But if you get a lot of games, you're able to just plug it in and it starts playing. Maybe you'll have a what's it called, like a day one DLC or whatever. Nintendo's usually good about not having that, though they're getting worse, right? Because they announced DLC for ZA before ZA even came out. So like I can't even give Nintendo as much credit as they used to have. They're becoming like literally everyone else. And another funny thing about this too is that year on year, the average price of what people are spending on games is going down, despite the fact that the price of games are going up, which means that indie games and lower budget games are actually selling better than they have historically, and in general, better than what AAA games are selling.
Well, I mean, yeah, why not? A lot of these indie games are being developed with actual more care and
Passion.
more care and effort than the AAA games have, and they're cheaper.
And most of them function, right? Like a lot of them, when you put them in the console or put them on your computer or whatever you're playing them on, a lot of them actually just work. They're not like bug-ridden messes, despite the fact that they were made with smaller teams.
Remember how everyone talked about how bad Ukulele when it came out was, and nowadays you've got AAA games coming out with the exact same problems intentionally.
Yeah. To be fair, they've been doing it longer than Ukulele. Like, remember how bad, what was Arkham Knight was when it first came out? Like, that game didn't even run until like 2 weeks afterwards, and they put a big patch in.
Oh yeah, like PC ports, I believe, still have problems. I mean, nowhere near as bad as when it first started, but they still have problems.
Oh yeah.
And hell, Arkham Origins wasn't even allowed to fix itself. They had to sneak the last fixes they had into DLC updates.
Yeah, I think, though, a lot of that was still Sony, right? Because you remember Sony used to have, like, this weird restriction on how big a patch could be, unless it was, like, put into DLC. Skyrim had that problem when it was trying to fix some things on console.
Well, I mean, that happens to a lot of games, but with the specific Origins issue, that was flat out just WB.
Oh, okay. Which we'll be talking about WB in a little bit, after the topic of video games, but yeah, WB's never been particularly good at handling their games, I think, ever. They're one of the earlier, like, offenders of making you log into something to play a game. I don't even know. I think maybe Steam has fixed it, because they've been doing this with a lot of older games that have had this problem. But for a long time, I could not even play my copy of the original Arkham City because it needed a WB Games login service to certify my license, even if I've certified it on that computer previously. But the service no longer exists.
Yeah.
I think of that same problem with Alice Madness Returns. I think it also had the same WB Games license certification thing. There's a problem with DRM. DRM is a long-term mess for games because what happens if the DRM is linked to a service and the service goes out? It just doesn't exist anymore. Then you have to have people like, usually Steam's been pretty good about it. They've been going back and they've been removing that stuff from games if the service no longer exists. Which is a lot of work on them. That means they actually have to modify the game. It's not their job. They're just trying to like preserve the games for everyone else.
Yeah, it's just nuts how they keep doing that shit. Especially when they tend not to support those third-party sites you gotta log into for very long either.
No, they don't. I wonder if they fixed it for Mass Effect. Mass Effect had that problem, right? Because I originally owned it on Origin, which is EA service. And I think all the stuff that you owned on that, I don't know, I think it's just called the EA Games launcher now or whatever. I don't believe it's Origin. But I think they transferred everything from your account over if you log in with the same user. But I also own Mass Effect, I think, 1, maybe also 2 on Steam. But I remember trying to play Mass Effect 1, and for a while, you still had to log in with like some type of EA credential. I hope that's been removed, because there's no reason playing Mass Effect on Steam should I have to log into EA stuff. I'll just go play it on EA Store instead. Also, it's an offline game. There's no reason I should have to log into anything for an offline game. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's garbage.
But this isn't a PC thing, right? It used to be only, but it's a console thing now too. Like it brought up Diablo. There was like ports for, I think, Diablo 2 or whatever. I know there's a remaster for Diablo 2 recently. But there's some old id stuff that Bethesda's been putting out, and you have to sign in with like a, or not Bethesda, what am I talking about? This is Blizzard. You have to sign in with a Battle.net account to play Diablo.
I mean, to be fair, Bethesda's starting to try to do
They did
shit
that too, yeah.
like that too.
With one of the Doom games, you had to sign in with a Bethesda thing.
Yeah, I think it was Eternal, because the 2016 they didn't start doing it yet, but then by Eternal they started implementing that shit.
Oh no, you had to do it with the ports too, right? So they had like the original Doom, Doom 2, and I think Doom. I don't remember if they ported 3, but I'm assuming if they did, you would have to do this too. But the Doom 1 and 2 ports, you had to sign in with a Bethesda account to be able to play it.
They ported 1, 2, and 64.
64,
I know for a
that
fact.
was the other one. Okay. I knew there was a third one. Like, I don't remember it being 3. It probably wasn't 3. But yeah, you had to sign in for that, which is ridiculous. Because I don't think you can play multiplayer on. I get Quake. There was a remaster of Quake, right? Which is kind of just a upscaled port, right? It still looks like the original and everything. That one you have to sign in with, but it's like, okay, but you need it for multiplayer, I guess, right? Because you have to connect to their servers for it. Though I guess you also technically shouldn't. You should be able to just peer-to-peer it, because that's how the game worked originally. You just replace the LAN connection with peer-to-peer, and it should function just fine. I shouldn't have to log into your service to play that. I think more companies need to make peer-to-peer an option for playing their games multiplayer. Yeah, it means you can't do matchmaking, but you can have an online service matchmaking option if you want to. You can make them two separate things. But like a VLAN, just let me peer-to-peer if I only just want to play with my friends. I don't want to hook up to some network or anything. I just want to go directly to them.
Oh, Gearbox, that's another one. They've gotten really bad with Shift recently.
Yeah. And they used to be one of the better ones back in the day when it came to stuff like that. Because like Borderlands still had LAN options built into their games.
Yep.
Yeah, but do you want to know how bad this November was? If you had to guess, how many console units were sold this November? Just throw out a number.
I don't know, maybe under 1 million.
You know, that wasn't that bad, right? Because usually it would be a hell of a lot higher than that, right? It was 1.6 million total.
That's still pretty bad compared to normal.
Oh, yeah, like the last time that happened was in November of 1995. And this is, again, Black Friday. It's when everybody puts their layaway down, and they count layaways and stuff like that for the holiday season that were put down in November as sales.
Like, again, that's what happens when the two reasons your things sell is convenience and price, and you're fucking up both.
I think the bigger thing too is not just the console, because that's bad enough, right? Having to shell out that much. It's all the games. It's the price of the games.
Yeah.
Too, right? Because if the average price that people are spending on games is going down, which means the people are spending more on low budget and indie games than they are on AAA games. Why would you need to buy a new console, right? Especially when the AAA games, all the new games for the new console, are going to be costing anywhere between $70 to $100 per game. When most of these indie games, you can still play on the stuff that you have now because they're not as demanding.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Fizz.
Yeah, like, one of the few things I saw about the Game Awards was...
Half of the Game of the Year
Yeah.
nominees were all indies.
Well, not just that, although that is very true. But also, like, one of the games announced, originally it caught my eye because it's a mascot platformer. It's that Badger one.
I don't remember that one. I didn't watch the whole thing. I only caught trailers afterwards. Do you remember the name of it, or?
I forgot the name. It's like a name that starts with a B, Badger. I just know that there's a football player that has the exact same fucking name, so trying to look up this trailer when I heard about it was a pain in the ass.
It's okay. I've got a list of everything announced from the Game Awards. I'll just go through until I see something resembling a badger. And that should probably find the answer there. But you can continue talking while I look for it.
But, like, at first, it caught my eye because it's looking like it's a mascot platformer. But the second thing that caught my eye, and is something that I just found hilarious, is that the premise seems to be about how this character abuses the fact that these games are unfinished.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, and like the levels that they showed are like parodies of popular gaming franchises now. Like there's one based on like Bloodborne, one based on The Last of Us, one based on what was the third one? Bloodborne, The Last of Us, and
Bradley the Badger?
that's it.
Which was actually from one of the creators of the Mario plus Rabbids games, which are very solid games. They're probably the only things Rabbids related I think are remotely good. So
Yeah. But it's like, it caught my attention because mascot platformer, and then it's just literally just a game about a character stuck in other games abusing the fact that these games are unfinished to try and get out of them. It's like, I think that just says enough about how the gaming, like, how gaming is as a whole now.
The
Like, there are
ecosystem.
so many fucking games that, yeah, the gaming ecosystem. It's like, so many games from big companies are just so buggy. So, Cyberpunk, that's it.
yeah, there was Cyberpunk.
And it
was
should
in
not surprise anyone that mentioning the term buggy is what made me remember that.
Yeah, which it's a very solid game now, but it took like what, 6 months of bugginess before it became like a really solid playable game.
Yeah.
See,
But
Fizz
yeah,
says,
it's
I don't
just-
understand. Bloodborne wasn't even that big of a game. Bloodborne made about 10 million sales. Which means
Yeah,
it's still more popular than most things on the PlayStation 5 for being a PS4 game. But more people had a PS4. And culturally, it's more popular than it's sold, even on top of that. A lot of people like Bloodborne. It's not part of the Souls list of games, but it is a lot of people's favorite Souls game.
But, yeah, it says everything about game economy now, that it's reached the point that we've had so many AAA games come out unpolished, buggy, practically feeling unfinished, that now there's a freaking indie game coming out that's effectively just, yeah, we're just gonna make fun of that and just make that our game cycle.
Yeah. Now, all of the Souls games are less popular than Elden Ring, though. The Souls are weird when you think about it, because when it comes to actual sales as like a category, as a genre, they don't actually sell that much. An individual game does okay, right? Like 10 million sales, that's nothing to laugh at. But, you know, Animal Crossing did 3 times that, the most recent one, right? At the same time, they have a big cultural impact. A lot more people watch like streams and gameplay of Souls games than they play it. And it's one of those franchises or one of those genre types that have kind of only grown over time, because Elden Ring was like, what? That's 20 million or something like that. I know maybe it's up to 30 now. I know it did really well all throughout the first year that it came out. It was one of those ones that didn't really peter off in that year. Hey, Mike. But yeah, I'll watch the trailer later, because you know my current PC setup. Unless you were to pull the trailer up or something to play it on in the call, there's no way I can run the stream and pull up a trailer. I'm working on trying to fix that, but we work with what we got right now. But a mascot platformer does sound pretty entertaining. I do love mascot platformers. It's one of the reasons why eventually I want to play the new Bubsy game, because it actually looks really good. I've been enjoying Donkey Kong. I've been playing Donkey Kong. I haven't really talked about it much since the last time you were on and we talked, but I've been enjoying it. Can you tell what my favorite levels are so far? Just take a guess. If
I'm
even
not
have one.
entirely sure.
You see, you should know me better than this. The nostalgia country levels.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, to be honest, I don't know how far you are, and I forgot where those things are.
Yeah. They're scattered out basically everywhere. Like, you get one pretty early on.
Yeah, because I don't remember where each thing is. I have played through enough times that I remember where the entrance to every challenge is. I just don't remember which challenge is which until I'm actually inside of it.
Mm-hmm. But I was ecstatic when I entered one of the little side challenges, and all of a sudden, it's a 2D side scroller, and I hear DK Isle Swing playing, and it's like, oh, wait, this is the layout of the first level of the first Donkey Kong game. No wonder it's called Nostalgic Kong. That was peak. The rest of the game is good too, but that was peak.
I'm gonna be honest, I completely forgot of those and wasn't thinking of those as levels, so I was trying to figure out which layers you might have gotten to.
Yeah, I guess it could have also called them stages or whatever, because they kind of do refer to them as like extra stages, not to be confused with the bonus stages, which are the ones you only get to do once, and they're like basically just coins. But at least it's the bonus stage theme from the original Donkey Kong Country. I enjoyed that too.
Yep, and if I remember correctly, each stage has at least one bonus stage, and you can do it once per visit to that layer.
Yeah, you have to leave and come back for it to reset.
Yep.
It was a fun game. I haven't got to spend as much time as I like, because I'm trying to balance a lot of other things, but I've been enjoying every moment I've been playing in it. Except, I don't really like the skill tree aspect of it. But everything's got to have a skill tree now.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that that's how it's set up either, but at least it keeps things available to you, I guess.
Yeah, it gives you
Since
reason to
they
collect
didn't
more
bother
bananas.
Yeah, and they didn't seem to bother to, like, set up, like, I kind of think it would have been more interesting if instead of just being a cameo you can find every once in a while, Cranky actually, like, had one of his, like, shops or labs available.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's how you got upgrades.
Or you get like 3 different types of upgrades, right? And you get like Cranky, Candy, and Funky giving you different stuff.
Yeah, instead of different shaped rock guys.
Yeah. Oh well. It is a good game though. Like these complaints are overall for me so far minor complaints. These are like the game could have been even better if they did this instead, but it's good.
Yeah, it's
good.
more like small things and nitpicks at this point. It's not one of the games that either of us can really get into big complaints about, which says a lot about how good the game is.
Oh yeah. Also, like I pointed this out to you in DMs, but I noticed that Donkey Kong and especially the first layer you're in, it sound a lot like Goron's. Everything's very Goron thing, and I think maybe a lot of the same like sound design team was involved in it. Like there's still normal Donkey Kong sounds too, but overall it sounds more like a Goron than he ever did. Especially the ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that, but then again, it's been a decent stretch since the last time I played one of the Zelda games.
Oh, even I'm not the one playing it. There's one on in here like all the time. Marsupial's been going through Age of Imprisonment. So every so often that's on. He'll juggle games. So it'll be like one day of the week it'll be making some progress in Age of Imprisonment. One day of the week he'll be making some project in like Fantasy Life I. Another day he actually just started playing the Wandering Village game. So I'll just walk into the living room and be like, oh, okay, that's what you're doing now.
Yeah, I don't really have the capability of getting games at the moment, but Age of Imprisonment is one I was kind of thinking of because I did enjoy Age of Calamity.
I hated Age of Calamity. I really liked the original Hyrule Warriors, though. I think almost everybody likes Age of Calamity, though, except for me. And I think with me, it's because I do really like the Warriors games. And I've said this many times on here. It's just... it's too much trying to be both. And it's not doing really good at being either a Zelda game or a Warriors game. While, like, the original Hyrule Warriors really wasn't trying to be a Zelda game at all. It was just trying to be a Warriors game with Zelda characters, so it did the Warriors aspect really well. But if you liked it, you should like Age of Imprisonment. It's added a lot of stuff to it. That it's like, okay, if you liked Calamity, you just get even more of the more. But I did have something else I wanted to talk about today. We're going to talk about WB, which you probably didn't... I told you when you mentioned it that we would be later, but you probably didn't think when you mentioned WB that we'd be talking about WB for some other reason. But if you know, There is a bid to buy out WB going on right now, right?
Yeah.
And the big bid came from Netflix originally. I did an entire show on Matt Reese's channel about it. Didn't really cover it too much here, so I'm free to repeat literally everything. But The update in it is Paramount had also made a bid. But now the WB staff, the actual people in charge of it, are urging the shareholders to reject Paramount's rival bid against Netflix. This is something that I kind of thought was going to happen for anybody who did happen to watch that other show, because I mentioned Netflix has an order of magnitude more money than Paramount does. It doesn't really matter what Paramount's bid is. Netflix is just a better option, right? Like if you're actually trying to expand your business, if you're trying to maybe even course correct, merging with Netflix is actually the better thing for shareholders. You'll get more out of it long term than you would from getting the bigger bid from Paramount. It's weird territory, right? Because Paramount is basically, they're trying to do like a hostile takeover by sweetening up the shareholders. Their bid is about $20 billion more than Netflix's. Not that Netflix can't throw like another $20-40 billion on top of it. They easily could. I just don't think they need to at all. If you were in charge of the company, if you were intelligent, if you were trying to look at which direction will make me the most amount of money, Netflix overall is the answer. Fizz asks, what about Saudi Arabia? I heard that they've been throwing their hat into. They recently were making their deal to purchase EA. The problem with Saudi Arabia is they don't have an open option for what their deal would be. Like, we don't know how much their bid is and everything. And I don't think the Saudi fund is as good of an offer as potentially merging with Netflix anyway. Because you have to think about, what does merging with Netflix actually do for my company? And it actually does a lot. And I think people... We saw some people making like weird statements that like, oh, but if they merge with Netflix, that means less movies will go to the theaters. No, that's stupid. Netflix has absolutely no reason to stop making money.
Yep, even before this was even on the table, Netflix kept talking about how they're trying to get into theatrical releases. Hell, look at K-pop Demon Hunters.
Well, they did say after that they didn't really have an intention of doing that often, but that was also before they made this bid, right? Keeping in mind like what their distribution model was at the time. But if they owned WB and have access to WB's theatrical distribution model, that changes things a lot. They might even completely change their mind on what they do or don't bring to theaters.
Yeah, not to mention that Netflix can also help out with the streaming, which Paramount is struggling against compared to its competitors.
Oh, dude, Paramount Plus is awful. I don't know if you've ever used it. Not as bad as HBO Max, though, but that would be great for me, and I think all the users, which is also good for shareholders because happy users means more people spend money. Would you rather the even worse HBO Max go into the slightly less worse Paramount Plus, or would you like it to merge into the absolutely most functional streaming service, Netflix?
Yeah.
Because Netflix
plus,
works well.
Yeah, and plus, also look at it like this. Paramount Plus as a link to HBO Max. I don't want either of those. But almost everyone and their mother has a Netflix account. It's like, oh, only pay slightly more to get HBO Max mixed in with my Netflix? Sure.
Yeah. Though I think if Netflix gets it, I don't know if they'd be charging you more at all. I mean, their prices are going up anyway, so they might be charging you more, but I think it would just be their base price going up. I think Netflix would just eat
I
the
feel
difference
like
and
their
merge
base
everything
price
in.
would go up, but they'd like they'd say the base price would go up, but they'd say it's because it's a package.
Maybe.
That feels like the kind of corporate bullshit that people would pull.
I think what they would end up doing, though, is like their base price is going up anyway. It has been. And I think Netflix would eat the difference just to spite their competitors. Because they are still one of the cheapest options on the market, even despite prices going up, because everybody's prices are going up. And Netflix, they're not naive, right? Because they're ran by, on average, younger people than many of these other production companies are. But also, they're kind of tech bros, right? They started with the idea of making everything easy for you being able to go online, order a DVD, they'd mail it to you, you can mail it back. Then eventually they got into streaming. They've been in this department, this area for quite a long time. They know how it functions. They know what audiences want and don't want, more or less. Which is why even for every like woke thing that you find on Netflix, you also find a lot of stuff that isn't. Because they kind of just let studios do what they want to do. And they're like, well, there's options for everyone. If you have a problem with a lot of the stuff they're doing, blame the American studios they're contracting, not them. Because a lot of the times when like an adaptation is done by a Japanese studio, it's actually still really good. Like the live action Bleach movie, for example, or the live action Full Metal Alchemist that a lot of people haven't watched because it's like only in Japanese. I think there's a dub now for each of them, or has been for a few years. But most of them follow the story pretty exact for as much as you can, being compressed down to an hour and a half. Oh, awful. Did you watch the live action Yu Yu Hakusho?
No.
Oh man, that was you should. Maybe. The awful part of it is not that they didn't follow the story more or less, because they did. But they took like 2 long arcs, right? Like several volumes of the story. Maybe it was more than 2, but they went all the way to the Dark Tournament arc. And they compressed it into 5 episodes that were like an hour long each. So they took all of that and put it into 5 hours. You can't put all of that into 5 hours. That was what made it awful. What they pulled off was great. Like, I love the fights and everything. The characters felt like the characters. But they just should not have put all of that story into 5 hours. I don't know why anybody thought that was a good idea. But it was mostly made by their Japanese studios. So what they did do was really, really accurate, more or less. They had to change a lot of the pacing and structure to be able to get things to flow in 5 hours. But like I said, all the characters act the same way. Things more or less happened in the order that they were supposed to happen. They managed to do the whole Genkai training tournament arc. They managed to basically do the Dark Tournament, but they turned it into like an island siege. There's a lot of things that can nitpick. But not everything that Netflix is responsible for producing is bad. Everything Paramount has made is bad. Literally everything. They have ruined Star Trek. Like, all that really bad Star Trek stuff that's been coming out lately, that's all Paramount. Every single one of them. They're the ones who own it. So, yeah, I think Warner, please, 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 please. Take the Netflix option. You're not doing well as a company. You haven't been for years. Every single time you try to restart up one of your major franchises, you'll get like a good thing, but overall it's really hit and miss, and you end up out of the business of it, or out more money than you put in every single time.
Yeah. Plus, I keep seeing the damn Kratos meme, and it's just, Netflix, open up the patents to the Nemesis system, and my money is yours.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that one quite a bit too. And I don't think that Netflix would have no reason to stop the James Gunn's movies. I mean, I wish they would, but they'd have no reason to it because, again, they just let studios do what they're going to do as long as they're not losing money. So as long as they kept making money, he would probably let him go as far as he wanted to over with the DC studios. That's just how they go. What I would like to see, though, again, take the Netflix option, the best stuff to have come out of Marvel in like the last decade or so was the stuff they did over at Netflix before like all the Disney Plus stuff started happening, right? Before Disney Plus was a thing. Like Daredevil is just such a good show. The new stuff at Disney Plus sucks. The Daredevil Born Again or whatever, it's not very good outside of maybe the fights. The fights are pretty good, but the dialogue is awful, even though you have good actors delivering it. But the Netflix stuff was pretty good. I think the only one that really bothered us was Iron Fist, and it wasn't even the writing of Iron Fist. A lot of the people that didn't like that one was because of the fighting, and it was supposed to have the same choreographers as Daredevil, but they were ripped away from them during filming. That because they wanted to work on more Daredevil. So the choreography of Iron Fist was just like pretty bad. And Defenders. But Defenders felt really rushed. Right? Like, it felt like it either should have had a lot more episodes because it took them forever to go where they were trying to go anyway. And there was like a weird rug pull moment on, what was it? Who was it? Oh my God, what's her face from Alien? Why am I blanking on her?
Sigourney Weaver?
Yes, Weaver. They did like a rug pull on Weaver's character where she was supposed to be like the big bad, and then Elektra comes and kills her, and then she's the big bad instead. Right? It was like, oh, okay, whatever. So either it should have been longer, and they should have done some better setup with what they were doing with it, and used their time better, or they should have compressed it into just the Defenders movie. One or the other. But what they did with the Defenders, that was actually probably the worst part of the whole thing. But take that and imagine them doing a grittier Netflix DC series. Right? Because Netflix, with their gritty Defender series, did a lot better at making like this fun, gritty world that was more or less comic accurate compared to a lot of the other stuff that was running around than, say, CW ever did with DC. I think that could be fun. A Netflix DC series.
Yeah, that could be interesting. Especially since they could just use characters that nobody's really heard of. So
Yeah, exactly.
that there's less executive meddling.
Now, it would have to be the right studios, right? Because Netflix Studios only does so much themselves. But if they got a lot of the same people that worked on the Marvel stuff, if they brought them back in, I think it could be good. Imagine like a Plastic Man series. A gritty Plastic Man series could be really, really fun. You'd watch a gritty Plastic Man series.
Yeah, probably.
I'm trying to think what other ones would be good.
Grifter.
Yeah, Grifter.
He's been getting more popular nowadays, but he's still off in the fringes, and that might be some interesting stuff to work with.
Yeah.
Or hey, if they want to get into the mystical stuff, Jason Blood is there and can eventually lead to Etrigan when you've got a bigger budget for your stuff.
Nobody would want a gritty Plastic Man. Everybody would want a gritty Plastic Man. As long as Plastic Man himself is still jovial, right? Like, you want to take a jovial Plastic Man and you want to put him in a gritty series. That's how Plastic Man would work best. Where he's like the person lightening the mood, right? He's the comedic relief inside his series. But a gritty question, Fischoso says. I also agree. A question series would be pretty good. We could also get Constantine in there too. There's a few good ones. But with that, we are at the end of the show. Thanks for coming on. I had a good time. Talked about some good things. I'll be back on tomorrow night for anybody who is interested in this kind of stuff. Same time, same place, but also earlier in the day, I will probably be playing Star Rail and going through the new patch content. So I'll see you guys then.